What's up? Welcome on into the Sports on Tap show. George on Tap's daily sports. What's going on in sports in general? And this is always brought to you by Underdog. If you use my promo code on tap, you can go to Underdog and you'll get up to 1,000 US dollar bonus on your first deposit. And that's up to, and also you'll get like the free play, which is Travis Kelsey just a half a yard in the first game of an NFL season. I'm just going to show you guys that real quick. Underdog Fantasy. It's a great app. Travis Kelsey just over half a total yard if for a first time depositor and get up to 1,000 in bonus cash. Today we built out in our Sports on Tap betting show our play of the day, which is Brandon Marsh higher than a total base. Andre Palante 6 hits allowed lower. Taiwan Walker 6 hits allowed lower. Those three bets will pay you out a 6x. Make sure you use promo code on tap to get that $1,000 bonus and the Travis Kelsey play of the day. All right. What's on tap? Let's talk about Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson was named the starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, good for Russ, right? A lot of people thought Russ was going to get beat out by Justin Fields. Justin Fields missed some huge throws during the preseason. And it just seems like the Justin Fields experiment was tantalizing. The Justin Fields era was cool in Chicago, but Justin Fields is just not a very good quarterback, but neither is Russell Wilson. This is an opportunity for Russell Wilson to save his career. Now, will he save his career? It's going to be really hard. Russ is not a player that many people like. We're going to go on Twitter here and kind of, talk about what are some people's actual thoughts on Russell Wilson winning the starting job, which, by the way, I'm going to get out of dark mode before giving you guys that. I don't know why it's on dark mode on this computer. We'll figure this one out later for you guys. Let's talk about the Russell Wilson and what is the reaction to him being the starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So Russell Wilson has been named the starting quarterback. And the thing is for us, he is a definite definition of enigma. Some people love Russ, some people hate Russ, some people find him corny. Pure saying it's the right move. 9-8 season because of Tomlin's greatness. Otherwise, I'd say 6-11. Yeah, it seems like overall most people who are Pittsburgh Steeler fans are actually in agreement here that this was the right move for the Steelers. Look, I don't think Russ might end up being the quarterback the whole season. I kind of feel like the Steelers might play a quarterback carousel this year, which is sad for a franchise as good as the Steelers. And I know people think the Steelers are down, which they are a little bit, but they didn't make the playoffs last year. And, it seems like quarterback one, Russell Wilson. Not too many people have been, it looks like this was one of the best moments of Russell Wilson's career, pretending he was in a huddle. He's the QB1. And in general, I think this is his chance. Let's steal. Nice. That was his big move for Steelers. I'm going to explain in NBA terms. I don't know. Russell Wilson, Jason Kidd started over Jimmer Fredette. Okay, that's a good one. All in all here, probably the right move by the Steelers. Russell Wilson tends to be a better quarterback overall than Justin Fields. This is literally only the last chance for Russell Wilson to salvage his career. Could he be good? Possibly. But the thing with Russ is if he's not good, he can lose the locker room quick. And that's because he doesn't connect well with the players. I'm a Seattle Seahawks fan, and I saw Russ up close and personal for years. When he's good and the vibes are good, his corniness level is fine. You deal with it. But when things are bad and he's struggling and the team's struggling and he's coming out with these quotes, you feel like, Russ, tone it down a little bit. He is the definition of main character syndrome. But that doesn't mean he won't be a good quarterback for the Steelers. This is an opportunity to save his career. Mike Tomlin's a good coach. You go look at Russell Wilson's stats last year. They are not as bad as people want to make him out to be. But he lost the locker room. He lost the head coach. Sean Payton told him, "You're not a politician. You don't have to start kissing babies." And that's the problem with Russell Wilson. The Steelers fan base is a fan base full of pride and joy for the Steelers. So you hope Russell Wilson can actually deliver for them. And if he does, well, good for him. He would have saved his career. What's on tap? Well, let's talk about Jerry Jones and Jerry Jones's comments. Jerry Jones actually said that he's the only one that's going to be doing the job for the Dallas Cowboys, the general manager. Why? Well, because nobody on this planet can fucking do this shit better than me. He's pretty confident in his ability to be the GM of the Cowboys. This is the actual quote. There's nobody that could bleeping come in here and do all the contracts and be a better GM than I can be. Now, I would argue that because there's some people more equipped to be general managers. But let's take it a little bit easy on Jerry Jones. The Cowboys' records through the last few seasons have not been bad. Cowboys record 2020 year by year. Like, I know he's been the general manager for a very long time. But I mean, the last couple years, going back, let's go back to 2016, 13-3, 9-7, 10-6, 8-8, 6-12, 12-5, 12-5. The Cowboys are not a bad franchise, and he has not done a good job. Here's some more just quotes from his story. I've done it all, so I have an inordinate amount of confidence that if anyone can figure out how to get this done, I can figure out how to get it done. I've been there every which way from Sunday, and I've busted my ass a bunch, and there's nobody living that's out cutting and shooting that can give you a bunch of times they busted their ass. So hell no. There's nobody that could bleep and come in here and do all the contracts and be a GM any better than I can. Plus, I'm where the buck stops. When it bleeps up, I got to cover it. And so there, you can't give anybody enough. Can't give. There's nobody that can do it. You got to love the confidence by Jerry Jones here. Since 1996, he's had 7 head coaches. Now, the problem, and this is what Stephen A. Smith said, despite the 7 head coaches, they don't have 7 playoff wins. Now, the difference between CeeDee Lamb and what he was, Jerry Jones, he just signed CeeDee Lamb, right? But the difference is here, Jerry Jones has done something unthinkable. We thought that Jerry Jones is going to actually fire Mike McCarthy. We thought he was going to hire Jason Garrett. Earlier in his career, the problem with Jerry Jones was he was so quick to fire head coaches and had no patience. Well, he was very patient with Jason Garrett. Now he's very patient with Mike McCarthy. Does that mean Jerry Jones has changed? Quite possibly. He's built a very good roster. He got Dak Prescott out of Mississippi State. I know Dak wants to be the highest paid quarterback in the NFL now, but he got him for cheap. He built a great offensive line. Now he drafted CeeDee Lamb, who's now emerging as either, a top 3 wide receiver in the league and just got paid. I would argue that Jerry Jones hasn't done an amazing job overall, but he's done a good enough job to earn the right to say, I am a good GM. Despite every single person wanting to go ahead and just, basically poop on Jerry Jones, there's nothing to poop on. He's actually done a pretty good job. And if the Cowboys can just win one Super Bowl, one more during his era, sounds like a pretty good job to me. All right, what's on tap? Let's talk about, before we get to our quarterbacks, let's talk about Notre Dame. And I was thinking, is Notre Dame just primed to make the college football playoff year in, year out now that it's 12 teams? Notre Dame is set. They're a team that's going to get a lot of respect, and their schedule is usually good enough to lose maximum of 3 games. And overall, I mean, come on. If you're Notre Dame, they got Texas A&M this year. Let's see if they win that one. If they win that one, they're set. Let's take a look at their actual schedule this year. And usually their schedule as an independent is pretty much very similar year in and year out. So I was just thinking about this. Like, they're going to get the respect every single year. Like, there's no way a 3-loss or 2-loss Notre Dame team is going to be left out of a college football playoffs. They don't even have to do one of a 5 automatic berths by winning their conference. Texas A&M. I mean, this year, maybe they'll lose at College Station. Let's just say they lost. There'll be Northern Illinois win, Purdue win, Miami of Ohio win, Louisville win, Stanford win. Georgia Tech is tough, but they're going to win. Navy win, Florida State win, Virginia Tech win, Army, Southern Cal. They should lose maximum of 2 games on this schedule. But year in and year out, I feel like Notre Dame Fighting Irish will lose 2 games on their schedule. It's sad to like, it is kind of like interesting because in general, they are always going to be a really, really, really like popular team. They're always going to be a team that people love to watch. And that's Notre Dame for you. Like, come on. Do you actually think they would leave Notre Dame out of the college football playoffs for any circumstance when they lose games? This is the New York Yankees of college football. This is a team that always sells tickets. There's no way, in my opinion, they can leave out the Notre Dame Fighting Irish from college football playoffs. And it's funny to me because college football used to be about the regular season and how good you are. Can you go undefeated? Every single week felt like a playoff game. Well, not anymore. This Texas A&M game for Notre Dame could have felt like a playoff game. Well, now if they lose it, it doesn't matter. I think a 3-loss Fighting Irish team will usually get into the college football playoffs. It kind of ruins the college football playoffs in general that we are at this point, in this point in time where it doesn't really matter. You're going to make it no matter what. But that is the harsh reality of what college football has. Sorry about that, guys. All right. We're back. Sorry about the little problem there. So, yeah, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish should be back in the college football playoffs year in and year out. Let's talk about quarterbacks. There are a bunch of quarterbacks here who I think can really pop this year. And I just kind of wanted to go through some quarterbacks that might not be getting so much love, but in my opinion, should be getting much more love heading into this season. And there's quarterback rankings, of course. So we're going to use the quarterback rankings and go through that and just go towards like the end of a rankings, not the end, towards the middle, and talk about which quarterbacks I believe should be getting a lot more love this upcoming season. So let's take a look at it. These are the NFL quarterback rankings, and we have the usual suspects. But which quarterbacks don't get enough love? And that could really, really pop. And one of them, to me, is Trevor Lawrence. And I don't know why this place has 18th, Justin Herbert. But Trevor Lawrence, actually, before all his injuries last year, the Jaguars were 8-3, and Trevor Lawrence was fantastic. He's a player, to me, that can really pop again this year. Trevor Lawrence on the Jaguars is a guy who will always be the type of player that people find as an enigma because he was the number 1 overall drafted player in the NFL and he was known as one of the best prospects in history of the league. So whenever that happens, people actually just hate on the guy. Another guy, Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray will pop this year. Kyler Murray and Trevor Lawrence will both end up being top 10 quarterbacks this year. Why? Because they're all very good. Before Kyler Murray was hurt, and he's one of the most insane athletes in history of the NFL, Kyler Murray was unstoppable. You could not stop Kyler Murray under any circumstance. Well, now Kyler Murray is back. He's healthy. And he has Marvin Harrison Jr. to feed the ball to. Another player to me that just overall is going to pop this year. Geno Smith. I know he popped 2 years ago, but he's going to pop again this year. I think Geno Smith being ranked 23rd on this list is absurd. If you go look at it, he's been the most accurate passer in the NFL according to some advanced stats the last 2 years. And when you're accurate and you play in a conservative system, he's going to be a top 15 quarterback this year. And those are about it. One guy I think everyone should keep their eye out on is Bryce Young, however. Here's the thing with Bryce Young. He was a number one overall pick for a reason. And that Carolina Panthers situation last year was just a dump. It was a dump of epic proportions. And when you play in a dump of epic proportions, bad things can happen. And I think that's what happened with Bryce Young. He just happened to be in a really bad system. He happened to be in a place where he was not, primed for success. And the stats showed it. Out of the rookie quarterbacks, we all know Caleb Williams is going to be good, and Drake May is going to probably struggle, as a lot of people think. With two guys to keep an eye out on are Bo Nix. That's because he plays in a Sean Payton system, and Jaden Daniels, who I think can actually have a huge impact this year and dazzle as a dual threat. We're talking about Michael Vick on steroids. So keep your eyes out on those quarterbacks this year to have huge seasons and light it up and light up scoreboards. All right. Thank you for watching. This has been the George on Tap Daily Show, where I talk about the biggest stories in sports. These shows will get a little bit longer once the NFL season starts. It's kind of a slow time right now. College football this weekend is going to be fantastic, so we'll have a lot about that. Things are going to get a lot more moving here. I'm also going to be doing live shows after big games. So maybe after the Colorado game, if it's a really good game on Thursday night, I'll just hop on a live for you guys. In general, just going to be a lot more involved here, giving you guys on the whole pulse of what's going on in sports. As always, this has been brought to you by Underdog. Make sure you use promo code ONTAP on your first deposit, and you'll get up to a $1,000 bonus and the play of a week, which right now is Travis Kelce, just to get a half yard in the opening game of the NFL season. Thank you for watching. My name is George on Tap, and we'll see you guys next time.